Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in, checking in with our mindful motivation for mindset mastery. I trust you had a beautiful weekend and all ready for this first full week of the month of March. How are things going for you? Why I'm saying that, if you've watched these before, you know that the whole vibe or the whole intention of these sessions is to really contemplate and integrate the best ways for us to navigate our choices, to find our way in touch with our own inner guidance and in flow with our soul's calling, with our life purpose. That's kind of the key essence of this. So for these sessions, I like to pull from 4 different decks of cards and to just really kind of feel into what's the best ways to direct our energy to align with our own inner truth. So if I ever say anything on these sessions that kind of confuse you or discombobulate you in some way, or you need a wee bit more support or guidance, please make sure that you put it in the comments below or reach out to me directly, because I think it's really important to access and be aware of when you are in flow, and then when to, reach out or get a wee bit of guidance or reflection of what is happening for you. Is it feeling, and this is the key piece, is to come into what is it feeling for you. So all that being said, before we get into pulling decks of cards, I like to feel into or riff on a wee bit of what's happening with the phases of the moon. So this week, the phase of the moon that I want to bring your awareness to is the new moon, but it's not going to happen until the end of the week. So it's the new moon in the sign of Pisces. This is a beautiful time to just be aware of that. In the sign of Pisces, it's very much about healing and balancing and really being in the flow of the sacred energy that's flowing through you, that is your life, that's guiding you. So it's about really allowing yourself, and this is why I think it's such a good time to be just feeling into this, because I encourage you to set aside some time this week to allow yourself. The new moon energy is about bringing your awareness deeply within and finding a sense of trust, understanding and knowing and recognizing that you're always in the right place at the right time. And then with the Pisces energy, it's about really getting in touch with the depths of your unconscious, the depths of your intuitive guidance, of your inner wisdom. Something that I've said before is the answers you're looking for are looking for you too. The new moon is the perfect time to surrender to that and say, okay, it's there. And in the darkness of the new moon, allow things to percolate and blossom and come up for you with a light hold. And what I mean by that is that's just flowing. When I say a light hold, it's having a sense of trust and ease and flow. What do you need to do to actually step more into that? So this could be a little nudge for you do you need to change things in your self-care? I was going to say sacred self-care. I always like to think of anything that you do for yourself in the self-care aspect. It's sacred. You're sacred. You're a spiritual being doing all of these things. And the other thing that I think too, when we're looking at the mindset mastery, is to always remember to release the propensity to compare yourself to others. And this whole phase could actually be a beautiful time for you to actually access that authentic, quirky, beautiful aspect of you and show up with it. So, like I said, let's work on together being who we truly are. So now that we've kind of fell into all of that new moon in sign of Pisces coming at the end of the week, but so you may feel, some introspection prompts or some little psst type messages from your own unconscious, your own subconscious that's actually trying to get your attention. And then allow it in. Allow it to be the guide for you. So now, in order to help you, the first deck of cards that we go into and look at is my letting go cards. I always like to think that, this is evolution is created, personal evolution, spiritual evolution and evolvement is like peeling layers of an onion. And so that's what the idea behind this letting go is, that we keep letting go and keep letting go. And sometimes we can find that the same thing comes up. That's a time to be very loving and compassionate with yourself, because it just means that there's another nuance of something. It doesn't mean that you're being scolded or that you're not doing things right. I'm putting quotations right that because we always do things right. Okay, take a deep breath. Let's see what we can focus on letting go of. This is perfect. Look at this. It's jealousy. So isn't that interesting that I was just bringing up that idea of comparing ourselves to others? So sometimes we can compare ourselves to others and kind of say, oh gosh, they're so much better at that. Or they really get in touch with their intuition and they follow it and I don't. So where does jealousy come up when you're comparing yourself to others? One thing that I think is very important is that whole propensity around feeling jealous and comparing ourselves, it's actually an unfair thing to the other or the others and us, because we're not mind readers. We don't know what another person has gone through to get to their status, or what they've accomplished or what they've not accomplished. We only know ours. So bringing your attention into what can you do, what is right in your own world, and look at the things that feel right, feel like a yes to you. That's a beautiful thing to focus on during this week, as like I said, as we come into this pull into our own connection. So you know what I mean by our own connection is when we go really deep into our inner world. By us doing our own work, that energy ripples out into the collective, and that's actually what our responsibility is. Each one of us, we are responsible for and to ourselves, and the benefit of that is that we then create harmony and balance and flow all around us. But it's the inner work first. So now, saying all that, I pulled a tarot card for us to go with this, and this is perfect. It's the King of Cups. Love the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, so you think about the king. King is the masculine, doing things, being the ruler, being the sort of guide in your own life. We all have a King of Cups within us. However, with it being cups, it's actually flowing. And that's what I was saying about this water, the water sign of Pisces, guiding us to flow with our emotions, to flow with the guidance that they provide. So the King of Cups, he won't put something in motion until he's felt into his feelings. So this is this balance between the masculine and feminine with all of us. So masculine and feminine, the masculine is the doing and the, putting something into motion. Whereas the feminine is the flowing, the watery, healing, nurturing aspect. Is that in balance for you? Of course, there is no right or wrong answer here. This is a time to really just be willing to tap into what's going on for you. Are there little tweaks and changes that you can make during this week as you kind of come much deeper connected with that vital, powerful energy that you have access to within you? I trust that makes sense. That just feels like that's the vibe for us for this week. Okay, take another nice deep breath. We're going to pull from the Healing with the Angels card. I like to pull 3 of these cards to kind of fill out or get a little bit more context of what energies we're stepping into. Oh, there's one that just flew out, just saying it's definitely one that wants to come out. Nice combination. So the first one is romance. I always think of when that card comes up, it's kind of like a reminder when we're talking about that inner work, are you treating yourself and realizing that you are your beloved? You are the beloved. Are there things that you need to do to release, limitations or criticisms of your own self so that you can actually feel loved, feel held by that loving embrace? And like I was saying, when we do our inner work, that ripples out to the collective. And so that's actually a form of romancing as well. And then following your ideas, ideas and inspiration land when we get into that rhythmic balance of the being and doing, when we get into that tapping into our inner wisdom and actually trusting the flow of everything is happening perfectly, as exactly as it should. And the last one on this one, this is one of my favorite ones too. This is a very powerful reminder: surrender and release. Surrender and release really encourages us to be in balance with that being and doing, with that action taking and being in the flow, allowing that flow of your divine nature to come through you. So surrender and release also means giving up to higher power, giving up to others whose maybe their responsibility to deal with certain things. Because sometimes we can get too caught into that rigid, blinkered viewpoint of I have to fix this and I have to do this and I have to do this. If you have lots of inner dialogue that's saying I have to and I should, maybe it's time for a reset, surrender and release. I like to if that starts to happen for me, I like to look and maybe do a brain dump, write everything down of all these things that I think I have to and I should, and then look at what do I choose to do to actually be the responsible author of what's going on for you. I trust that makes sense. Like I said, if any of these ideas confuse you or you need a wee bit more support or guidance, let me know. And now, before I send you off into this beautiful week ahead, I'm going to finish this off with one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth cards, because that's really the overarching aspect of all of these conversations that I come and do with you here. So, again, nice deep breath. And it's this one that's kind of sneaking through here. Oh my goodness, this is such the perfect wrap up to this. It's I am inner directed. Isn't that perfect? That's what we're being invited into, is to really, really listen. To not only listen, but access it. First of all, we have to access it and remember that it's there waiting for us to get in touch with it. But let me read this out to you before I send you off. Being aware of myself and my actions, I stay mindful of what I do at all times. I ensure that I am living life according to my principles, my life's purpose, and what I am passionate about. That's just the perfect way to really synthesize everything that I just said to you about the energies that we're sitting in at this beginning of the month of March. Much love to you. Like I said, reach out if you need any support or guidance. I wish you a beautiful week ahead, and I'll be back again with you next week. Thanks for